In the heart of Arendelle, nestled between the jagged peaks and glistening fjords, a new day dawned under the radiant northern sun. Snowflakes shimmered in the air, kissed by the sunlight that sparkled across the expansive ice fields. The kingdom was bustling with life, and the air carried the scent of the approaching winter. Yet, this was no ordinary day for the citizens of Arendelle. Today, their queen, Elsa, had set out on a journey into the enchanted forest once more. This time not for adventure, but for a visit to a very special friend, Bruni, the magical fire spirit. Elsa had always felt a deep connection to the elements. After all, she was the fifth spirit, the living bridge between humanity and nature. Her ability to control and create ice was not just a power. It was a bond she shared with the natural world. However, no bond had intrigued or challenged her as much as the one with Bruni, the tiny salamander who embodied fire, a force seemingly opposite to Elsa's icy powers. It had been some time since their last encounter, and Elsa missed her fiery companion. Bruni, with his vibrant azure flames and boundless energy, had captured her heart. Despite their elemental differences, Elsa's cool, controlled power of ice, and Bruni's wild, flickering fire, they had formed an unlikely friendship. Setting out from Arendelle early that morning, Elsa had donned her iconic ice blue gown, a shimmering reflection of the snow and ice she so effortlessly controlled. As she moved, snowflakes swirled gently in her wake, a reminder of her presence in the world. Accompanied by Anna, Kristoff, and Sven, she made her way toward the enchanted forest, where Bruni now resided in peace alongside the other elemental spirits. Gale, the playful wind spirit, the earth giants, and the water knock. The journey through the forest was as magical as Elsa had remembered. The trees, ancient and wise, whispered secrets of old as the wind rustled through their leaves. The forest floor was covered in moss and ferns, alive with the soft glow of sunlight filtering through the canopy. Birds chirped melodiously, their songs echoing through the trees, and the air was crisp with the promise of an upcoming snow. Anna, ever the optimist, skipped ahead, her laughter echoing through the trees as Kristoff followed with Sven. "I wonder if Bruni still remembers us," Anna mused, her breath visible in the chilly air. "Do you think he's grown any bigger?" Elsa smiled softly at her sister's question. "Bruni may have changed, but I'm sure his heart is still the same. Spirits don't age the way we do, after all." As they walked deeper into the forest, the air began to warm, a sure sign that Bruni was near. Elsa's heart quickened. Despite her own power over ice, she had always found herself fascinated by fire. The way it danced, alive and unpredictable, was in stark contrast to her precise control over frost and snow. Yet, perhaps it was this very contrast that had drawn her to Bruni. Finally, they reached a clearing. The ground here was warm to the touch, and a faint, flickering light illuminated the space. Elsa took a deep breath, feeling the warmth on her skin, a sensation she was not entirely used to. And there, at the center of the clearing, was Bruni. The little salamander's flames flickered excitedly as he spotted Elsa and her companions. His eyes lit up, and with a joyful chirp, he scampered toward them, leaving a trail of glowing embers in his wake. Elsa knelt down, extending a hand, and Bruni leaped onto her palm, his warmth radiating up her arm. "Hello, old friend," Elsa whispered, her voice soft and filled with affection. She marveled at how such a small creature could embody something as powerful and destructive as fire, yet also be so gentle and playful. Bruni chirped in response, his flames flickering in a pattern that Elsa had come to recognize as happiness. He nuzzled into her hand, his body warm and comforting despite the sharp contrast to Elsa's own cool touch. For a moment, they simply existed together, fire and ice, in perfect harmony. Anna and Kristoff watched from a distance, smiling at the reunion. Anna's heart swelled with happiness seeing her sister so at peace. Elsa had come so far from the isolated, fearful queen she had once been. Now she was strong, confident, and most importantly connected, not just to her powers but to the world and people around her. Sven, on the other hand, had his eyes fixed on something far more intriguing: the glowing embers that Bruni had left behind. With a curious snort, he trotted over, sniffing at the ground before attempting to nibble at the warm spots. Anna laughed, tugging Sven away before he could cause any mischief. As Elsa stood, Bruni perched on her shoulder, his flames dimming slightly as he settled in. "I've missed you," she said softly. "There's so much I want to show you." She extended her hand, and with a graceful flick of her wrist, summoned a delicate flurry of snowflakes. They danced through the air, twinkling in the sunlight, and Bruni's flames brightened in response, flickering with excitement. It was a beautiful sight, snowflakes and embers swirling together in the air, a perfect representation of their friendship. But suddenly, the peaceful moment was interrupted. The wind began to pick up, and Gale, the mischievous wind spirit, appeared in a flurry of leaves and dust. She swirled around them, tugging playfully at Elsa's hair and Anna's cloak. "Looks like Gale's in one of her moods," Kristoff chuckled, holding on to Sven as the reindeer braced himself against the wind. Elsa laughed, raising her hand to summon a gentle snowstorm to calm Gale's playful gusts. The wind spirit responded by swirling the snowflakes around in a mesmerizing dance, as if showing off her own power. Bruni, ever curious, leaped from Elsa's shoulder and chased after the swirling snow, his flames flickering wildly as he bounded through the air. Anna watched in awe as the elements played together. It was a reminder of just how powerful and interconnected nature was. Fire, wind, ice. They were all parts of the same whole, working together in harmony despite their differences. It made her think of her own relationship with Elsa. They were so different in many ways. Anna with her warm, impulsive nature, and Elsa with her cool, controlled demeanor. But together, they made a perfect team. As the day wore on, the group ventured deeper into the forest, exploring the hidden wonders it had to offer. Elsa and Bruni continued to play, creating intricate patterns of fire and ice in the air, while Anna and Kristoff marveled at the beauty around them. The enchanted forest was alive with magic, and for the first time in a long while, Elsa felt truly at peace. But as the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the treetops, Elsa felt a sense of melancholy. She knew their time in the forest was coming to an end, and soon they would have to return to Arendelle. As much as she loved her kingdom, there was something about the enchanted forest that called to her. The freedom, the magic, the connection to the elements. It was where she truly belonged. Bruni, sensing her sadness, nuzzled against her cheek, his flames warming her skin. Elsa smiled, grateful for the little fire spirit's comfort. "Don't worry," she whispered. "We'll see each other again soon." With one last flick of her wrist, Elsa summoned a flurry of snowflakes that spiraled into the air, catching the last rays of the setting sun. Bruni's flames danced alongside them, creating a beautiful display of light and color. It was a fitting farewell, fire and ice, together in perfect harmony. As they made their way back toward Arendelle, Elsa couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment. Her journey had not just been about visiting an old friend, but about reaffirming her place in the world. She was the bridge between the human world and the elemental spirits, and while that role came with great responsibility, it also brought great joy. In Bruni, she had found a kindred spirit, someone who, despite their differences, understood her in a way few others could. And as they parted ways, Elsa knew that their friendship would endure, just as fire and ice, despite their contrasts, could exist together in harmony. For now, the frozen queen and her fiery friend had found a balance, a delicate dance of fire and ice that would continue to grow and evolve, just like their bond.